The mind of an engineer, the talented ones, is that it's a beautiful place to be in. It really is. They don't think like other people. They're constantly trying to solve problems in super creative ways, connecting the dots in ways that you would never imagine to connect the dots. When you go talk to people and communicate, like, what do you do for a living? I say, oh, I work in space. It's hard to quantify, because I can't go look at that website that I produced, right? The fact of the matter is that just like, creatives in other industries, you have to have the mind for it. It's like a blank canvas every single day you come into work. And when you're a creative individual that likes to build and make, engineering is just the right profession for you. If I had to describe it, it's maybe the things that they don't do. And how they impact the engineering team here. You have to have a mindset that's accepting of failure, and we try to cultivate that here at ARKA. Big problems, they look unsolvable. If you walk away thinking they're unsolvable, then you bring no value. The only way you go solve those problems is by making mistakes. And learning from those mistakes, which means that you can't have any fear. You got to go in there and give it a try, and knowing that it'll probably fail the first 3 times. And also, while you failed, you learned, and that 4th time, amazingness is going to happen. And so they do provide space for creativity. They allow us to make our own decisions. They encourage us to collaborate with customers outside of any normal policy and process, I would say. That's probably their biggest impact today. This particular industry, national defense, is a complicated beast. Something as simple as a requirement is never as simple as a requirement. It's hard to describe. I mean, you're collaborating with a customer. You never want to tell them they're wrong. You want to take them on a journey that demonstrates that they can trust us to be their most valued partner. When you take them on that journey, you bring them back to that requirement, and in the majority of the time they realize, oh, actually, we like the journey that you just took us on. Let's not talk about that requirement anymore. Let's talk about that journey and that solution. That sounds fantastic. Once they become customers, they become advocates, and they stay for the long haul. We're different than other engineering domains. And the reason being is we want to have our engineers get access to customers sooner rather than later. We do like to advertise to our customers that our solutions come with the phone number of the engineer that actually produced it. I'd say, in a different way than other industries where every day you get to see, what it is that team produces. For us, you don't. You have no idea. It's up there. Except that you just don't realize it. Like the satellite imagery you see on Google Maps, some of that actually comes through our equipment. We've hit an inflection point as we've grown, and now we have individual contributors across the engineering organization that, I'd say a few years ago we wouldn't imagine needing those contributors or that talent. They've added a view or a perspective to this team that we lacked before. Sometimes as engineers, we can be a little bit mechanical, maybe not so forgiving. It can be black and white. That group that we've added has added empathy, and that is I'd say been distributed or percolated throughout the organization. And you can see a team that is demanding, and they hold themselves accountable. Also, they're incredibly empathetic, and that's been a refreshing add for us. And so we felt the need to develop engineering values that roll up to these are the things that you should be doing day in and day out. And the reason you do them is, one, for the greater good. It's for your teammates. Also because they create value, and your stakeholders need that. And your stakeholders are ARKA, their customers, and their employees. I mean, all three. And if you're constantly thinking, I gotta create value, everybody benefits. In addition to that though, we do hold ourselves accountable. And so, delivering on our commitments is a big aspect of that. We absolutely know that we have commitments. We have launches where, actual rocket launches, you see them on the news all the time, where our equipment is required to make those happen. Those schedules cannot change. That's where it's I'd say different from other engineering disciplines. Our impact is, in my opinion, much bigger. Also, I'm biased because I'm in this industry and I love this industry. I came from the web-facing industry, so I think it's fair to say that I have enough experience to compare and contrast and make a judgment call on how impactful we are. You can show up every aspect of your life, from your car to your phone to the TV. You're a builder. Like you've participated in making that happen. I think you get into it if you like to build stuff. You're a maker. And today, because you can see the end result so quickly, it's a pretty exciting profession to be in.